What is it about black stockings, eh?
Tights, mate, the tights.
You reckon?
Yeah, but definitely.
How much?
$50.
Right, you're on.
How do you plan on finding out?
By asking her. How else?
Well, you know what they say, mate. People who ask don't always get.
Ah, well, I heard it was different. I heard it was vice versa.
Ah, well, it depends on how you ask them, doesn't it? I'll tell you something. I didn't have to ask twice.
You what?
And you could do worse yourself.
And the bicycle was where? And you definitely saw him ride off on it. And when was this exactly? Not where, love. When? When? What time of day? All right then, 9. Yeah, well, we'll keep an eye open for it. In the meantime, perhaps you pop down to the station and make out a statement. Monday's fine. Cheers. About time. What kept you?
I'm not stopping, kids, so don't get your hopes up.
Well, I'm only supposed to be filling in, you know, till you get here.
You'll have to fill in a bit longer then, won't you? I've got to see Inspector Lynch.
Yeah, well, before you do, someone else wants to see you.
Look, tell her I've not come on duty yet, will you? I can't see her now.
She's been waiting a good 10 minutes.
I can't have that, can I? I've got to see Inspector Lynch.
Well, what about this lot? Here, you tell her, Sarge. Tell her to take over. I've done my stint.
You know how long I've been on nights now? 3 weeks, near enough. And every night I've been stuck on that ruddy switchboard, and he complains after a couple of hours.
He doesn't do it as well as you, though, does he?
He will. Give him time.
Women.
Yeah.
All right, lads, leave it till you get home. The wife will give you the better scrap.
He's not in. Hasn't been since yesterday. He'll be at his mother's. Goes every Saturday. Never misses.
Any idea when he'll be back? Honestly, a bit urgent, like, you know. I'm a friend. Well, friend of a friend, like, you know.
He won't be back. Not today, he won't. Goes straight to work from his mother's. Always does. Creature of habit. If you want to see him tonight, you'll have to go to the bus depot. He's on the late turn. Hey, if you see him, tell him I've mended his woolly if he wants to pop in for it. I'll be in all day tomorrow.
You waiting for me, Jane?
If you've got a minute, sir, I was hoping for a quick word.
Well, so long as it is a minute. I'm late for briefing as it is. Right, draw up a chair, love. I'll be right with you. Now, love, what can I do for you?
I want to go out on patrol, sir.
Ah,
While I'm still on night duty, I mean. All I've really done so far is man the phones, and I haven't really been out at all. Well, only to do that body search for the West Lane Nick.
but you're back at Dare's Monday, aren't you? I mean, you'll be out and about again then, won't you?
Only on routine stuff. That's why I was looking forward tonight, to get a change. Instead of which I've been...
Bored silly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, well, a lot of police work is boring, Jane. Especially at the start of your career. We've all had to put up with it.
Some more than others, apparently. I'm never going to further my career unless I can prove what I can do, am I? And I won't do that by answering the telephone or filing statements.
Well, it's a start, isn't it? I mean, what do you propose I do about it?
Let me go out on patrol.
Now, we've been through all this before, Jane. It's too risky. I can't send you out there on your own. And you know what upstairs think about doubling up. Now, perhaps if you have more experience, you can...
I'm never going to get more experience if you won't give me the chance to get it, am I?
Look, supposing I do send you out there on your own, and something happens, I'd have to send you a backup, wouldn't I?
Why?
And that'd be 2 police vehicles and 2 police officers tied up where I might only need the one.
Why send me back up at all? I've done self-defense.
Jane, love, even another last round at gym and training school. It's a different thing confronting a villain in the dark. I mean, some of the lads think twice about going out there at night, especially a Saturday night. I know I wasn't too keen on it myself when I was on the cars, but I knew if it came to it, if I had to, I could handle myself. Now, can you honestly say the same?
For the simple reason there wasn't any point in staying to the end. Anyway, these movies always end the same way, in a commercial compromise. You got a violent bloodbath on the one hand, and some sanctimonious bod preaching about the immorality of war on the other. Now we've only to find we've missed the last bus home and our evening will be complete.
Body searches on domestics. Come on, sir.
They're serious to the folk involved, love, it's not to you. Look, people talk to you, confide in you. Now, that's the kind of police work you're good at. The kind of police work we need. Anyone can do the strong arm stuff.
Sounds more like you need a public relations officer.
Why do you think people talk to you the way they do? Because they trust you. They don't regard you as a threat. Now, that's quite an achievement in one, particularly wearing our uniform.
Perhaps I want to achieve more.
You underrate the value of that kind of work, you know. It's a mistake.
It could be you underrate me, because you won't give me anything else to do.
You don't give up easily, do you?
Not as a rule.
Well, it'll be just for tonight to start with. I can't swear to make a habit of it.
No, sir.
I'll have a word with Sergeant Quilly. See if he'll take you out with him. Now, if he agrees, you're to do exactly as he says, to the letter. Is that understood?
Understood, sir.
Inspector Lynch, ask Sergeant Quilly to pop up and have a word with me, will you? Right. Go on, then hop it. I'll have a word with him.
Yes, sir. And thanks. You won't regret it.
Thanks, love.
Trouble? You better tell me about it.
You've not said yes.
Well, I've no choice, have I?
She must be out of her Chinese mind.
Maybe, but I can't keep turning her down, Alec.
Well, can't you stave it off until Monday? We're back on Daysby then.
She'll start quoting equal rates act at me if I come that one again. Besides, it's only for the one night.
All I need this.
I hope it's not lack of sleep you're complaining about, Alec.
Me?
Might have something to do with that backlog of paperwork you've been buried in all day.
If I'm late with my paperwork, who's the first one to complain? What am I supposed to do with her? Give her a guided tour of the countryside?
A guided tour around the north estate's more like it. Anyway, I can't spare you off your beat. If I could, I would send you home to your bed right now. If it's a typical night out in the car she wants, that's what we're going to have to give her.
I doubt she'll like it much.
Exactly.
Suppose we run into trouble
Well, let's hope you don't.
on a Saturday night.
Look, it's her decision, Alec. She's been in the force long enough to know the risks. Anyway, maybe she's right. Maybe we shouldn't keep on protecting her.
You still haven't answered my question, Bert.
You'll just have to keep your wits about you, won't you? Both of you.
Come on, love. I can't help you if you don't tell me anything, can I?
I've been down to the laundrette. I left him watching the sport on television. The kids were playing him up, and I could see that he was... So I took them off down to the laundrette with me to keep them out of his way. And when we got back, he'd gone.
So?
He'd found the suitcases.
Suitcases?
I'd finally made up my mind to do it. I was going to take your advice and clear out with the kids.
What brought that on? Every time I suggested it, you practically...
It was the kids. You know, I told you he'd been better with them recently. Hardly laid a finger on them. Well, the other morning, he...
The other morning, what, Mary?
We had a row the night before. And Mark, the eldest, sometimes... Well, not every night, but sometimes he can't stay dry. That morning he was wet again, and, well, it worried me. I mean, you hear things, don't you, about what it means when a 6-year-old can't stay dry at night. And... Oh, I was stupid.
You told Roy.
Yeah. I wanted him to realise that when he lays into me, it's really the kids that suffer. Anyway, he said I was too soft with him, with Mark, and he... It was hardly more than a slap. I mean, lots of fathers would do it and you wouldn't think twice.
Most fathers don't regularly knock their wives around, do they? Anyway, you decided to leave him?
Yeah.
To go where?
A friend. Well, he's really more of a friend of Roy's. Not a close friend. They use the same pub.
Is that where you met him?
No, Roy brought him back late one night after closing time. I was in the kitchen making coffee, and he saw Roy starting on at me. Well, he'd never seen him like that before. He'd only ever seen him the way everybody sees him, life and soul of the party, Mr. Charming. He wanted to stop it, but you can't, can you? Other people's fights, not really your business. So he went. But after that, he took to calling round during the day while Roy was out at work, to keep an eye on me more than anything.
How come you never mentioned him before?
Well, I'm not exactly proud of it, am I?
So you decided to go to this, what's his name?
John Nicholson.
And then what?
Well, we arranged that I'd go to his place Sunday morning while Roy was down the pub lunchtime.
Why, wait.
Well, it was the soonest we could make it. John was out all day today, and then he had to check in straight for work. He's on the night shift.
John?
Yeah?
Hey, put it out, you two. That's that good, yeah? You're right back at you, aren't you? What's it on, Nick? One of your wood finds? Hey!
Best leave it to the fools. They know what they're doing.
Tommy! Tommy, come over here, quickly!
Dear God. Honestly, Mary, I don't know I didn't put an ad in the local paper. Couldn't you have found a better place to hide the cases?
Oh, it seemed quite safe.
Not safe enough, apparently. The cupboard under the stairs, I ask you. No wonder you think he found them. What then?
When I got back from the laundrette, I went to put some clean clothes in them, and they were different.
Different?
Like someone had been through them. And I left this note in one of them.
Note? What note?
I didn't know John's address, so he wrote it down for me. With a map.
And it had gone. I'm sure you're worrying about nothing, Mary. Maybe one of the children opened the suitcases.
Yeah, but what about the note?
Maybe they took it to make a paper aeroplane out of it. And it's not as if it's that unusual for Roy to be out, is it? He's probably down the pub. That's where he always goes on a Saturday night, isn't it? You go home and stick to your plan. 10 to 1, he doesn't suspect a thing.
But if he does?
If he did, he'd have stopped at home to confront you with it, wouldn't he? It stands to reason. Where are the kids now?
With a neighbour.
Right, well, you go and pick them up and I'll try and pop in and see you later, see how things are, okay? But you're doing the right thing, really, Mary, and not before time. It's just last-minute nerves, love, that's all. You'll be fine, you'll see.
If you say so.
I do. See ya. Don't ask, it would take too long to explain.
And to listen to, by the look of it. You shortchanged her a bit, didn't you?
You seem to be in a hurry.
Oh, I could have waited.
You could have, sure. But whether or not you would have is another story. Besides, you forget, Alec. I've heard it every Saturday night for weeks. How our old man lays into the booze, and then into her. How the kids are affected by it. You know, the youngest is 4, and he's got a stutter. But will she press charges?
What was all that stuff about a suitcase?
She reckons she's going to leave him. I've heard that one before as well. I've tried the tea and sympathy, Alec, and it didn't work. So tell me, what else am I supposed to do?
Well, you're the expert on domestics.
And I've learned one thing from them. It's no good trying to help someone if they won't help themselves. Oh, I haven't thanked you yet, have I?
For what?
Let me go out with you for not saying no. You could have.
And would you have let it rest there?
No.
No. Well, come on then.
Newtown Police. All right, love, slow it down a bit. You saw what? A police officer?
It's not the picnic you seem to think it is out there, you know, love. It can get pretty airy at times.
I can handle myself, Alec.
It hasn't been put to the test yet, has it?
Look, I'll be all right. I used to watch you all coming back from patrol, full of yourselves. And I waited for my turn. Except it didn't come, did it? And I began thinking unless I did something about it, it never would come. And I'd be stuck on domestics forever.
Now, as long as you remember that we're not Starsky and Hutch, love, that we're just going out on a routine patrol.
Back there you were saying how risky it was.
Well, so it can be. And you chose a right night for it, didn't you? Worst of the week.
One way of killing a Saturday evening.
Oh, I can think of better ways.
Look, I'm not just a pretty face, Alec. So do us both a favour and stop treating me like one, okay?
Well, not that easy, you know.
Try, eh? At least while we're on duty.
And when we're off duty?
We're not, are we?
Oh, we will be, come morning. How about a spot of breakfast together?
What about Thelma?
Oh, well, that's old ground, you know.
Not that old.
Well,
I'm not a great one for the rebound routine, Alec. I get enough of people's emotional problems at work.
her name will not cross my lips. And how's this for equality? You can drive.
Oh, my, things are looking up round here.
Oh, don't kid yourself, love. I'm just knackered, that's all. Mike November 2. Give us that again, will you, Kev?
Fred!
Yeah.
He just turned on him without warning. Well, he went to stop him, the police officer. But the other fella, not the one who started it, the other fella, just turned on him, didn't he? He was like a madman, like he'd gone completely mad. Well, we wanted to do something, of course we did, you know, but what were we supposed to do?
All right, take it easy, lad. We'll get him. Right, go with him. Find out what he knows, anything, and report back to me.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, these two. I hope you took a good look at him, love.
Ray, I'm not going to enjoy the story I'm about to tell you now either, because we've just heard that there are salesmen going from door to door right now, offering to treat people's houses for that. Even if your house doesn't need treatment, I'll tell you it does. If your house does need treatment, they'll persuade you to spend very much more money on it than you need to.
Take this house in West London, for example. Last week, a representative called here and said he was offering people in the area the chance to have their houses tested for damp. Free, no obligation.
The people who live there.
Were the witnesses any help?
Oh, were they, heck? Apparently he was trying to stop a fight, that's all they know.
Doing his job, in other words.
After what the job amounts to out here, love. Something you'll have to get used to. Come on.
Oh, Lord. I'd almost forgot. I promised to call in and see Mary Hollis.
Lies! There's one bloody lie after another with you, isn't it?
It's the truth.
Oh, like hell.
It is.
Will you look at me and say that again? Go on. Go on!
They were old clothes I was going to give to a jumble sale.
Oh, like hell they were.
It's the truth, I tell you.
What's about this? I expect you were taking that to a jumble sale too, were you? You were going off with him, weren't you? Weren't you?
All right, yes, I was going off with him. I was going to clear out of this hell house once and for all.
Well, if it's a hell house, it's of your making, my love. Look at it! Look at the mess! Your filthy cigarette ends everywhere! And you look at yourself. If you want to look at real hell, you have a look at your own face, because I've had you for long enough.
You heard it
Do you know what that face once meant to me? Hope! Hope! Just imagine it. My better half. And now look at you.
And what you made me, Roy.
And vice versa, love. And vice versa.
Hey, 5 minutes, right? Time it takes me to finish my car log, and if you're not happy then...
I will be.
Please. What have you been up to, Roy?
I'm not here. If they want me, you've not seen me.
How? What am I going to say?
Well, you're the expert on lies. You think of something. And make it good. Hey, do something about that face.
This is the biggest killer of a dance horse you can do. The water seeps in. Looks very nice, though. Lane Aitchison hired an accountant.
Hi. I said I'd look in, remember? See how things were. Not a bad time, is it?
No.
He's not...
No, he's out down the pub.
That's all right then. And the kids?
Asleep.
Good. We can finish our little chat then, can't we? I can only be a few minutes, though. I'm still on duty.
Oh, I was about to go to bed. Get an early night.
I won't keep you up long. In fact, I'm supposed to be out on patrol, so I can only be a few minutes anyway. Okay if we sit down somewhere?
Yeah.
Oh, what a drag. Keeping us hanging round here after... We've told them all we know. Why we had to go out in the first place. If we'd stayed home like I wanted, none of this would ever have happened. Oh, stop fiddling, will you?
Right then. Just care to read these through and sign them. You'll be on your way.
Well, sorry we couldn't be more help, Inspector. In fact, I was just saying as much to...
Greaves just phoned in from the hospital, sir. Seems Renda can't give us much help with the assailant, apart from the usual, you know, well-built, dark hair, etc. But he says he got a look at the other man, the one being attacked just before he scarpered. He reckons he was wearing some kind of badge, like bus drivers wear.
Right. Get on to the night inspector at the bus station. Find out if any of their drivers or conductors didn't turn up for work this morning. Wait, second thought. I'll do that, lad. You get the statements.
How is he, the policeman?
Not so good, love, by the sounds of it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, where are you going?
Oh, where else?
I could be either a driver or a conductor. We're not sure. Thanks. You have? Right. Yeah, just let us have that address again, will you, please? Right, thank you. You've been most helpful.
Got something?
Does the name John Nicholson mean anything to you?
How'd you know?
Well, he didn't find the note, did he? It was in my pocket all the time. So he couldn't have known that I was leaving, could he?
I thought you said it was in the suitcase.
Yeah, well, I made a mistake, didn't I? Anyway, I've changed my mind about leaving, so there's no problem, is there?
Changed your mind? Why?
Well, I just changed it. Does it matter why?
You sounded so determined.
Yeah, well, I've sounded determined before, haven't I?
You've never actually planned it out before, though. Did something happen? Mary?
Thought he had the kids. Look, he'll be back soon. I really think you ought to go.
I'll go directly you've answered my question.
You wouldn't understand.
Extraordinary how people always resort to saying that when they don't want to tell you something.
I'm not sure I understand, so why should you?
Try me. Something has happened, hasn't it?
No.
Well, when did you get that? You didn't have it earlier, did you?
All right. He came back, but only to have his supper. And we had a row. Then he went off to the pub. Are you satisfied?
It still doesn't explain why you changed your mind.
I've got my reasons.
Such as?
When a person hates someone, people think they must enjoy it, don't they? If not, why would they do it? With Roy, it's the opposite. As if it isn't me he's trying to hurt so much as himself. Sometimes think that's why I let him do it. Well, it's one way of hitting back, isn't it?
But what What makes him want to hit you in the first place?
Oh, we've been through all this before.
Don't you know?
Well, he feels guilty, I suppose.
About what?
Why do people feel guilty? Well, because they think they've let someone down, or let themselves down.
Has he let you down?
He thinks he has, yes. Look, if he comes back and finds you here...
Look, Mary, if we don't get this straight now, what's going to happen? He'll be back round the station crying on my shoulder again. Why does he think he's let you down?
He was such a dreamer. What he wasn't going to do with life wasn't worth doing. He used to say we were like a lucky charm, he and I. I brought the luck and he brought the charm. Then the kids came along. Oh, nothing like kids for bringing you down to earth. Every penny we had seemed to go on them. Or the booze, either way it went. We never seemed to break even, let alone get ahead.
So he took it out on you?
No, we took it out on each other. It's hard for you to understand, isn't it? People trying to punish each other like that.
Not that hard.
You're still single, aren't you? Got a boyfriend?
No one special.
Oh, play the field, eh? Why not? Oh, use and love while you've got the chance. It'll end up the other way around soon enough. Still, you're not the type to let yourself get used that way, are you?
Depends on which way you mean.
Well, there only is one way, isn't there? Now, please, will you go?
Look, Mary, if it's really that bad, leave him. Press charges. Do something, if only to make a stand. Show him you've still got a mind of your own. He'll respect you for it in the end.
Respect?
All right. You'd respect yourself, which is probably more important anyway.
No, it's too late, love. The damage is done.
And it'll keep on being done if you stay, won't it?
Oh, the kids must have woken. I'll show you out.
Do you want to see if they're all right?
No, I'll be going up myself in a minute. Well, thanks for calling round and for the chat.
Sorry to be a nuisance. Just want to bother your Lou.
Looking for someone, look?
No, thanks.
I was going to call you, you know. Don't suppose you think much of me, do you? Running off like that. Look, I honestly thought your Bobby could handle him. Otherwise, I wouldn't have dreamt of... How is he, anyway? I mean, he's going to be all right, isn't
Suppose
he?
you just tell me what happened.
Look, I lost my nerve, and I ran. Simple as that.
That depends what you were running from, doesn't it? Or who?
It's too dark to see.
Look, I've a lad laid up in hospital on your behalf, Mr. Nicholson. If you're not interested in fighting the fella who did it, I am.
Told you it was dark, I couldn't see his face.
The attack was entirely unprovoked.
Charlie, yeah?
And you've no idea who he was.
No, none.
So a complete stranger comes up to you in the street and starts attacking you for no reason. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
Supposing I tell you we know different. That we have witnesses who say the fella called you by name. Let's just start again at the beginning, shall we?
Look, we met last Christmas down the pub. Started playing darts together, you know. I thought he was one of the nicest... Mind you, I'm not the first person to be taken in by him. Or the last.
How about some coffee for our guest, love?
Actually, there's someone waiting outside.
Oh, be fair. You've had your heart to heart. Least you can do is listen to my side. Off you go then, love. Sit yourself down. She won't be long.
I thought you were supposed to be out.
Oh, she told you that, did she? No, I just slipped upstairs for a bit. Give you a chance to have a chat. Well, I hope you talk some sense into her. Has she been telling you I've been knocking her around again? No, it's all right. I'm quite used to being cast as a villain of the piece. Where was I supposed to be? Down the pub, spending the well-earned cash, or out molesting young girls in the public park?
At the pub. I don't see why she should lie about it.
And that makes two of you, love. The psychiatrist couldn't fathom it out either. Oh, didn't she tell you about the psychiatrist? But that wasn't very fair, was it? Holding out on you like that.
Suppose you tell me about it.
It's no good looking at me like that, love. Wasn't my idea for her to go. It was the doctor's.
What was the matter with her?
Depression, stress, the usual sort of thing, you know. Agitated depression, I think they call it, yeah. I'm surprised she didn't tell you that.
Perhaps she thought it wasn't relevant.
Oh, but it is, isn't it? It shows her state of mind. I suppose she told you other things in these cosy little chats of yours about me, what she has to put up with.
I suppose you're now about to tell me that none of it's true, that you've never laid a finger on her.
Oh, no. I've hit her. But it doesn't necessarily follow I'm proud of it, though, does it? But you wouldn't be interested in my side. You've only got ears for her, haven't you?
Whatever your side is, it still doesn't excuse hitting her.
How do you know when you're not prepared to listen?
I'm listening.
Yeah, but you won't believe it, though, will you? Not you, because you're a woman. And when it comes down to it, you women always stick together. But if you've got 1 ounce of sense in that pretty little head of yours, you'd believe this. If I did a quarter of what she makes out, she would have been off and out of here long since. The truth is, she doesn't go because she doesn't want to go. Why else would she have left the packed suitcase where I was bound to find it?
Always puzzled me the way she never tried to hide our relationship. Always leaving letters lying around. Always insisting that I went there rather than her come here. Almost as if she wanted him to find out. Well, she finally got her way, didn't she? And it's obvious. After all these months of planning, quite suddenly, at the 11th hour, he rumbles us. We were going to move away, you know, Mary and me. Get away from that.
Oh, aye.
I would have faced him, you know. Eventually.
Right now, Mr. Nicholson, all I want is his name.
Roy Hollis, 31 Larkfield Close.
Bates, the fellow we're after is Roy Hollis, 31 Larkfield Close.
I've been over there now to pick him up, and I want Pandas 2 and 3 as backup to meet me there in, say, 5 minutes. And no one's to enter until I get there, understood?
Understood, sir. Control to Sergeant Quilly. Come in, please.
Control to Mike November 2. Come in, please.
What? Mike November 2. Yes, Kev.
You're to go to 31 Larkfield Close to the X with Inspector Lynch to pick up suspect on Render's assault. Over.
Give us that address again, will you, Kev?
31 Larkfield Close. Suspect's name is Roy Hollis. H-O-L-L-I...
I'll take that. Shut up and sit down. Who else knows you're here?
I said, who else knows you're here?
My sergeant. He's outside in the car.
She's still inside. Look, you better get on to Inspector Lynch and put him in the picture.
What about the suspect?
Well, he must be in there as well. If he wasn't, she'd have been out by now, wouldn't she?
You're coming with me, love.
Right, tell Sergeant Cully to stay where he is. I'll be there in 2 minutes. He is not to attempt entry.
What are you going to do?
What do you suggest? Put a knife to your throat, demand to have a car outside with the engine running.
That won't get you very far.
It's not a bad idea, though. Now you go in there and sit down. I won't tell you a second time. But don't just stand there. Get the kids dressed.
Why? What are you going to do?
Nothing yet. But I might want to get us out of here. Her included.
But what?
Do it!
You don't have to do it, Mary. He can't do anything without your help. Remember what we were saying earlier? About respect? You said the damage had already been done, didn't you? Well, now's your chance to undo some of it. Make that stand we talked about.
No, I'm sorry.
Now you've said your party piece, you can sit down and shut up. I said shut up! Oh, they've really got the troops out, haven't they? Well, you're the experts. What happens next? Who makes the next move?
They're probably waiting for you to make one.
Do you reckon?
That's the usual procedure.
Well, we mustn't keep them waiting then, must we? Time for a little demonstration, police communication, I think.
Robertson Stevens are watching the back, sir. Ambulance is on its way.
How many kids are in there, Alec?
Well, 2, according to the neighbours. If only I hadn't dozed off.
Well, we'll just save the recriminations for later, shall we, Alec?
Control to Inspector Lynch. Come in, please.
Inspector Lynch?
Message from WPD Beck, sir. She's unharmed, but she's got a message from the suspect.
Right, let's have it.
Message reads, quote, don't come any nearer, don't try anything. I've got 2 women and 2 children in here and don't forget it. Unquote.
Right, Bates, understood. Just stand by there. I'll keep you informed of what's happening.
Understood, sir.
What are you going to do?
What am I going to do? I'm going to try and talk him round. What else can I do?
Worse, he says. Ready?
The door, Mary! Mary, the door, for God's sake!
Go.
Police!
You all right, Jane?
Just give us a minute, Lisa.
All right. All right, stay where you are.
Thanks. I know what that cost you.
Do you?
A pretty good idea. You did the right thing. Really, Mary.
Better late than never, eh? Better go to the kids.
Right, go with her. Get a statement. And make sure the kids are okay.
Right, he's on his way to the station. Do you want me to send the ambulance on his way as well?
Yes, and then take Jane back. I want a blow-by-blow account of this little lot.
Beats me why she never walked out on him before, you know.
She still loves him, doesn't she? If she didn't, she wouldn't have opened that door.
Female logic, nothing like it, is there?
How else was she to get his respect? Only by making a stand for once. So he'd finally stop using her and start appreciating her. Pass us that rubber, will you?
Well, it's beyond me, all of it.
Naturally, you're a man.
Well, enlighten my feeble masculine mind. What has respect got to do with it?
I'm not sure your feeble masculine mind would understand.
Sounds like you've been at your psychology text.
Oh, it's one interpretation, isn't it? And I haven't heard anyone come up with a better one.
You let the doctor check you over before you go. He's on his way here now.
I'll be all right, honestly.
And you won't mind a second opinion, will you? Oh, by the way, hospital's been on. Fred Render's in the clear. If you can call concussion and 2 cracked ribs in the clear. Yeah, you did well to come out of it so lately, lass.
Look, I was on my guard. Fred wasn't.
I expect you'll be wanting to go out in the cars every night, eh?
No, not for a bit anyway.
Oh, this little lot put you off, has it?
Not at all. But like I said, in the end it came down to luck. And I'm not sure I want to push it. And like you said, sir, anyone can do the strong-arm stuff.
But it's not anyone she would have opened that door for. You realize that, don't you?
Yes, sir, I do.
Good. Then the night hasn't been entirely wasted.
Right. Well, when the quack has given you the once-over, we can have that breakfast, can't we? Only thing we've got to decide is where, your place or mine.
Would you mind very much if we skipped it, Alec?
Any particular reason why?
I'd just rather give it a miss, that's all.
Seems to be your night for saying no, doesn't it?
Better late than never, eh?
Anyone for tea?
Not if you're making it. No.
Thanks a lot, mate.